What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update, going into the last 24 hours of Tottenham news. And first up, we're going to be talking about our last away game of the season against Aston Villa. Spurs did put in a request to change the fixture, potentially looking forward to a potential Europa League final. The rumours were that Aston Villa rejected it.
Not rumours, I think they did.
Aston Villa rejected it, but now the Premier League and Tottenham have both confirmed that the fixture has been changed from Sunday the 18th of May to Friday the 16th of May, which is going to be a Friday night 7:30 kickoff, which gives Tottenham and Manchester United the same amount of rest going into the Europa League final, which I think is actually unprecedented in terms of the Premier League have never done this for any club for a European competition.
Yeah, I can't remember any time that it's happened, but it's fantastic news for us if we do get there. Obviously, it's classic Tottenham will get the fixture change and then we won't make it to the final, so we can't get ahead of ourselves. But it's great because it means that United don't get that advantage going into that final, which they were set to do, which we're all getting ready for. Obviously, Aston Villa won't be too happy with it because it means their schedule's just a bit more packed than it would have been. But it does also mean going to the last game of the season, they get a bit of an extra break if it's going to be a big game. So you could look at it either way. But I think common sense prevails. I think it would be wrong for the Premier League to basically give one team an advantage going into a big European final over another Premier League team. And I think it's about time the Premier League did something like this to help their teams in the European competition, to make sure that it's fair and there's enough rest days and not one team is more disadvantaged. So I think it's great news. Now we've just got to do our job about getting there.
Yeah, I mean, Villa cannot be too happy about this, seeing as they, strongly rejected it. Straight away after the request was put in.
But it's not. I mean, it's annoying. But let's be honest. I don't know when they're playing their game before, but it's worst case scenario. It's a Sunday to a Friday.
Yeah.
It's not a massive deal, is it?
It's not. But I mean, they're just, from their perspective, they're kind of just changing a fixture just to help another club. You know what I mean? So I mean, if it was the other way around, I wouldn't, care too much, but I wouldn't be happy about.
In fact, they're playing on Saturday.
So Saturday to Friday shouldn't be too much.
I mean, if they're really complaining about that,
it's not.
Then it's kind of picking it. What's it called? Whatever the phrase is, nitpicking.
It's not very often that we say big up and well done to the Premier League, but big up and well done to the Premier League for helping us out in this situation. When's the last time the Premier League have ever helped Tottenham out in any situation?
Never. We always get screwed over by the Premier League. So it's good.
Let's just bloody hope we make the final now, because it'll be proper egg on our face if we've changed the fixture just to accommodate a Europa League final and we don't make it.
That Friday night fixture is going to go down so badly if we don't make that final.
But look, it is what it is. That fixture has been confirmed to a change now. So Friday night is going to be the last away game of the season against Aston Villa. Moving on to some fitness news regarding Son Heung-min. Paul O'Keefe says that Tottenham captain Son Heung-min is expected to be back for the Europa League final if Spurs do get past Bodo Glimt. And now this is going to bring back the old classic conversation from 2019 when Harry Kane was injured in the build-up to the Champions League final. He played the Champions League final, much to a lot of people said he shouldn't have played because he wasn't fully fit. And now these same conversations are going to come back for Son.
Yeah, but it was very much hindsight, because when Kane at that point, if he was fit, everyone was saying he has to play because he's Harry Kane. But then obviously Lucas was our most informed player, and he scored a hat-trick in the semi, obviously famous against Ajax, then didn't start the final. And in hindsight, maybe that was probably the wrong decision considering we lost and didn't score.
I always said it shouldn't have been Harry Kane being the conversation, because Kane, even like an 80% Harry Kane, you back him to find the back of the net, right? Dele Alli was the one kind of out of form at that moment in time.
So it'll be interesting to see if in the lead up, if one of our wingers like Tell or even Mikey Moore in great form going into the final.
You say Tell hat-trick in
Tell hat-trick in Bodo, and then to get us through after being 2-0 down, and then Son's fit for the final and he gets the spot. See, if Tell does score a hat-trick or whatever, Tell has a great game on Thursday.
Look, I tell you this. If
You're
Sonny,
telling me.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. If we just scrape past Bodo, right, let's say it's a 1-1, we lose 2-1, we get to the final, Son should start. But if Tell does have an unbelievable game and scores a hat-trick and sends us to the final, I think maybe Tell should start.
What do you think Ange will do? Do you think Ange will make the same mistake Poch did? Or do you think he'll go with the
Ange
form
will
player?
start. I think he might go with the form player, you know. I think he might go with the form player and then bring on Sonny with like fresh legs about 20 minutes to go.
Let's just hope that Son gets some game time in him before the final, just so to make sure that he's kind of getting ready. 'Cause I think Kane literally hadn't played, did he, at all before that final? Yeah, because even the last game of the season was a month before the final, wasn't it, on that occasion? So let's hope that Son, before that final, if he's going to start, get some game time, shows that he's ready, and that then can play. But yeah, we don't want that same old conversation coming up again.
It's hard to believe, though, isn't it, that if Son is fit, he doesn't play. It is hard to believe.
100%, especially he's our captain as well.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he'll have a part to play whatever happens.
Yeah. Let's talk about Cuti Romero once again, as journalist Uriel Look says that Atletico Madrid continue to advance in negotiations for Cuti Romero. The clubs are expected to hold a meeting in the coming days. Tottenham has he's already informed Tottenham and the Spanish club. Tottenham have already informed the Spanish club of the player's value, and the defender wants to move to Spain. And on top of that, Julian Alvarez is doing his best tapping up kind of stuff at the moment, and he says in the press to Dario AS, he said that I hope Cuti Romero will come to Atletico. He'll help us a lot, and here is more similar to Argentina.
Here we go. It's all starting.
The writing's on the wall,
speaking publicly about him. They're probably on the phone every night, saying when you're putting in that transfer request, come to Atletico. Look, we know that's the direction it's going in. So yeah, it's unfortunate, and it's. Let's just hope that whatever happens, it happens swiftly. Knowing Tottenham, we like to drag out our transfer sagas. So Levy will want the best price, and I'm sure Atletico are going to try and haggle down as much as possible. I'm just hope it doesn't get ugly and Romero starts forcing his hand and misses training and all these different things. I remember when Kane missed training, didn't he? Before, well, he ended up didn't getting a move that summer, but he was missing training. It was getting very ugly. We've seen it before with other players, and just hope it doesn't happen here. But
yeah, look, I don't think he does anything like that before the Europa League final, and after the Europa League final, there's only one game left. So I mean, there's not really much time.
Yeah, but it was pre-season, wasn't it, when Kane missed training?
Yeah, that's also true. I really hope, the way Spurs do business, and you'd imagine it to rumble on until probably the last knockings of the transfer window. But I really hope that if he's going, that he just goes early on in the transfer window.
Yeah.
That's
It'll help us, and it'll help us replace him better, because we've seen it so many times where we wait, we get to late to window to sell, and then we have to scramble around finding a replacement, and it just doesn't help with your transfer plans and all those kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. So look, it looks like the writing is on the wall for Cuti Romero to go to Atletico. I think it's a deal from Cuti's mind, from Atletico's mind, makes complete sense. Obviously, we'd like to keep our best players around, but this is just the situation we're in, isn't it? It's very frustrating. And last but not least, we're going to talk about some awards from our players out on loan. The Spurs boys have scooped up pretty much all of the Leyton Orient Club awards. They've had an amazing season getting into the playoffs, which they play Stockport. And Jamie Donnelly has won the club's Player of the Year. He's won the club's Young Player of the Year. Josh Keeley has won the Goal of the season.
Goal of the season, ahead of Donnelly from the halfway line. Yeah. Wow.
Well, Donnelly from the halfway line wasn't even Donnelly's goal. It was given an own goal.
It's Donnelly's goal.
And Josh Keeley has also won Supporters Young Player of the Year and Supporters Merit Award. I'm not sure what the Merit
Supporters
Award is.
Merit Award.
And on top of that, George Abbott for Notts County has won EFL Goal of the Season. So our boys out on loan scooping up all the awards.
Phenomenal. And Donnelly has been an absolute fire recently, firing Leyton Orient to the playoffs.
End, yeah,
like really stepping up what they needed to, because he went through a bit of a rough patch, about a month ago, like maybe a bit in and out of the team, not getting the goal contributions, and like this last month, he's been phenomenal.
It felt like he got dropped out the team, whether you say rested or dropped, whatever you want to spin it, but he got dropped for one game. Came back the next game, and since then he's just been on fire. So maybe that was the kick up the arse he needed, or maybe he was just tired. Who knows?
Yeah, it's phenomenal, and I'm so happy for him, and we'll see what happens with him next season. Keeley as well has gone from strength to strength. Obviously, they've got the playoffs to focus on, so good luck to them, and they could be in the Championship next season, Orient, and which would be an unbelievable achievement considering at the beginning of the season they were predicted to be like bottom half. So phenomenal if they can get up. But obviously, Donnelly needs to step up even more in these next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like if they do win the playoffs, these Donnelly and Keeley both stay at Leyton Orient for next season, or do you think that maybe Donnelly will look at it and being like, you know what, maybe I can fight the top end of the Championship?
I think there's a good chance they stay, because sometimes when you know there's a good feeling between the fans and the players, they clearly fall in love with him and they've got a great thing going and they've got a lot of momentum. Ever since he's got into that team, like pretty much the trajectory's been like that. There's been a few rough periods, but most of it has just been a massively upward trajectory. So sometimes when you got that momentum, you maybe want to keep it, and you risk going to another Championship club. And maybe even like Lancashire, I don't know how well West Brom are doing, but like they're a big club, and he hasn't really been able to get the game time. Hasn't been quite right. Scarlett was battling in the top of the Championship, couldn't really get in the team. So maybe if they do go up, this would be a good time to stick with what you got for another year and see how he fares in the Championship with them.
And
that's what I would do.
And if they lose in the playoffs, surely he's got to go to Championship.
Yeah, I think he'll go to Championship. I think he's the top assister in the whole league.
Yes,
Matt, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I think I don't know if he's in the nominations for League One Player of the Year, but I think he should be.
Yeah, it should be. When you've got the most assists in the league and you're a young player like that and he's playing that well, why not?
They've also got the top goal scorer in the division as well, and Charlie Kelman, who's a young player who's won the Fans Young Player or Fans Player of the Year, I think it was. I think he's on like in the mid-20s of goals. So they've had some top performers late in Orient this season, in a season that's surpassed all expectations for them. So
mostly down to the Tottenham boys.
Absolutely. So yeah, that is it from our Tottenham update. Big up to Jamie Donnelly, big up to Josh Keeley, and let us know your thoughts on the Son situation in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.